Welcome to Timeless Chronicles. In this episode, we journey through the untamed and unforgiving American frontier, where every photograph tells a powerful story and every face holds a piece of the past. Let's step back in time and uncover the moments that shaped the legendary and enduring Wild West. In the early days of the American frontier, the church was more than a place of worship. It was the heart of the community. Here in Oklahoma, families gather outside a modest wooden church for Sunday school. Their clothing is formal, their faces both proud and weathered. It's a portrait of faith, education, and the powerful need for structure in untamed lands. Where people settled, food followed. The English kitchen in Williams may not have been called a restaurant back then, but for just 20 cents, it served hot meals and a taste of civilization in an otherwise rugged world. The three men standing proudly outside reflect the dignity of hard work and the quiet revolution of everyday comfort. Towns didn't spring up from the soil. They were carved into it, built with calloused hands and dogged persistence. This image of early builders laying bricks on a vast and barren plain is a reminder that before the saloons, churches, and stores, there were shovels, sweat, and sheer willpower. In a sharp contrast, this 1893 photograph reveals a thriving cotton market, pulsing with commerce and movement. Just a decade prior, this land was dust and open range. Immigration and economic opportunity turned it into a hub of trade and ambition, a living testament to how quickly the West could transform. Not every frontier story was one of hardship. Sometimes, it was just creative problem solving. In Okanogan, Washington, children ride to school not on a wagon, but atop a patient cow. Their grins and playful spirit speak to a different side of frontier life, one filled with humor, hope, and community. The cowboy. Leather chaps, wide brim hat, revolver at the ready. More than a myth, he was a product of necessity, herding cattle, patrolling property, and living by his own code. As the railroads expanded westward after the Civil War, the cowboy became an enduring symbol of freedom and grit. But the frontier was not a man's world alone. Annie Oakley, Little Miss Sure Shot, shattered expectations with every crack of her rifle. A prodigy since her teens, she dazzled crowds and royalty alike, becoming one of Buffalo Bill's star performers. She proved that precision and power had no gender. The expansion of the West brought inevitable and often violent conflict. In this stark image, a group of Apache prisoners waits under the watchful eyes of U.S. soldiers. Their capture is a solemn chapter in a broader story of displacement, resistance, and the high cost of manifest destiny. Before plumbing reached these lands, water meant labor. In Texas, 1905, two common methods of hauling water show the daily burdens of survival: a mule-drawn barrel or a cart, simple tools that kept families and livestock alive on the scorching plains. Not every saloon was a den of violence. Some were casinos of fortune. In Bisbee, Arizona, men gamble over a game of faro, one of the West's most popular card games. Surrounded by hats and tension, it's a slice of social life in a town where luck could change in a heartbeat. Under a large canvas tent, a crowd gathers for a land auction in California, 1904. With maps on boards and hands raised to bid, it's the raw essence of American expansion, parcels of earth transformed into dreams of ownership and legacy. Captured in 1885 by Geronimo's band, 11-year-old Jimmy McKinn stands among his Apache captors. No longer a prisoner, but a child torn between worlds. When U.S. forces recaptured the group months later, Jimmy resisted being returned to his birth family. His heart by then was Apache. On the Sherman Ranch in Kansas, a cowboy surveys a massive herd stretching to the horizon. With his lasso at the ready and comrades in the distance, this is the cattle roundup, a vital part of frontier economics and the kind of scene that forged the legend of the American cowboy. Not far from the muddy mining camps of the North, the Klondike Dance Hall stood as a beacon of laughter, light, and lively entertainment. In Seattle, 1909, these women posed outside the saloon that brought music and joy to the gold rush crowd seeking escape. A bittersweet portrait. Fred W. Loring, a young war correspondent, smiles with his mule in Arizona, 1871. 2 days after this photo was taken, he was killed in an ambush by Apache warriors. His image remains, a reminder that every story told from the frontier was paid for in blood, hope, or courage. Captured in 1908, this striking family portrait tells a quiet but powerful story. A mother holds her youngest child as the father stands beside their wagon, worn from the road. To the left, a young boy clutches a rifle, already taking on the burdens of survival in a world that asked children to grow up fast. This wasn't just a photograph. It was life on the move, with everything they owned packed behind them, and everything they hoped for lying ahead. In 1907, two daughters of a Native American chief ride across the plains, their silhouettes framed by the soft light of the setting sun. Ahead of them, the tippies of their camp rise from the earth like echoes of an ancient rhythm. History is not just written, it is lived, captured, and remembered. If you enjoyed this journey, leave a like, subscribe, and help us continue bringing the past to life, one image at a time. This has been Timeless Chronicles.